everyone, my name is Raffi Ismail and I want to talk about tourism in Indonesia. And by the way, talking about tourism in Indonesia, there is one name that almost always mentioned in every conversation about this topic. And who that is? It is Yogyakarta. It's not because Yogyakarta has the tallest buildings or maybe because Yogyakarta has the most luxurious facilities. It's because how Yogyakarta successfully transformed simplicity into uniqueness and how history turned into a living experience for the visitors. And today's question is not about how Yogyakarta succeeded, but instead what Sumedang can learn from Yogyakarta's tourism approach. And story time. A few weeks ago, I went on a trip with my friends and my lecturers to Yogyakarta, and for breakfast, we went to a place called Kopi Klotok. Our tour leader told us that this place usually crowded with so many people from different areas in Indonesia, and somehow I wondered to myself why, because this place itself just looked modest, the menu itself is not very complicated, and the building itself it just looked like an ordinary village houses in Indonesia, and yet there are so many people were willing to wait in long lines. And I found out because Kopi Klotok is not merely offer coffee, but also atmosphere and a sense of belonging. And this is, I think, something that we need to reflect on Sumedang tourism because, as we know, Sumedang is very popular for its legendary Sumedang tofu, its agricultural life, and its local way of living. For example, like imagine if village eateries became storytelling spaces, or maybe tourism did not only take photos but also experience the way our local live their lives. And I think this is the first aspect we need to reflect on Sumedang tourism from Yogyakarta. And after we went to the Kopi Klotok, we went to a place called Yogyakarta Archive. This archive is different from others museum that's filled with static objects in silent spaces. This archive gives me a different experience. So I think this is the second aspect we need to reflect on Sumedang tourism. It is about how Yogyakarta, especially this place, embraces technology, particularly using interactive AI in their uh, archive. So it's like they are not trying to erase the tradition, but they try to extend its tradition using technology. And through this interactive AI, paintings can tell and explain, and dioramas can explain historical context. Now, as we know, Sumedang holds the legacy of Sumedang Larang Kingdom, and also its artifact and its heritage, its cultural heritage. And maybe it is something that we need to reflect on Sumedang tourism, especially we need to embrace more technology. Doesn't mean to losing its identity as a culture, but as a tool to extend its life. For example, in Sumedang we have a museum, and that museum can apply this aspect. For example, paintings. Paintings can tell history. And also for young visitors like kids or maybe students from schools can scan a picture and that picture can tell its story. Or maybe they can hear a narrative story from the local voices from that paintings. So I think this is why we need to implement AI, interactive AI in museum in Sumedang to embrace technology to extend the life of our tradition. Okay, everyone, before I end my talk today, Yogyakarta continues to grow because its strength lies in adaptive, it's culturally grounded, and it's being simple. And I think Sumedang also holds the same potential by embracing simplicity into uniqueness, using technology as a tool rather than a goal. And then and placing local culture as the center of its tourism. And it doesn't mean I think Sumedang doesn't have to be Yogyakarta, but I think Sumedang just need to be confident with its own identity. Because for me, tourism, a successful tourism is not about imitation, but it's about how one can found its uniqueness of its own roots than other roots. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much.